Sentence placement questions are always intimidating because it just seems like there's a lot to process. And especially here, you've got 7 sentences in this paragraph. This is huge. But it doesn't really matter. Our strategy is the same. We really want to narrow our focus. We don't want to read this paragraph 4 times with sentence 7 in different places. We want to know, before we really start reading it, what we need to care about as we think about the sentence and start moving it in different places. So I look at sentence 7 first and I say, okay, what's it about? Can I pick it apart? Can I highlight some key ideas? Well, it says at Epidaurus, the combination of virtual pitch and sound dampening effect of the seats allow performers' voices to be heard fully and clearly from any seat. So it's very positive, and it's talking about virtual pitch and sound dampening. So, okay, I can either put it at the beginning or leave it where it is now. Let's take a look. So now I'm looking for the same thing. This filtering effect explains why performers are so easy to hear in the theater. Well, okay, this is clearly referring to something that we've already talked about, but notice sentence 7 is not saying filtering effect. It's saying sound dampening effect. Maybe it's the same thing, but I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same words, I guess. Effect explains why performers are so easy to hear in the theater. Low-frequency sounds such as wind, rustling trees, and other noises coming from the area around the theater are reduced when they bounce off the seats, whereas the high-frequency sounds coming from the actors remains relatively unchanged. Okay, so it seems to be talking about the voices, the actors. Okay. Again, it's kind of related. I don't know. Performers' voices also contain low tones, and these too are muted by the theater's seats. But this sound reduction doesn't impair actors' audibility because of a neurological phenomenon called virtual pitch. And right there, I know I'm done. Because they're introducing this phrase, virtual pitch. They're defining it for us. And now look at our sentence 7. It uses the same idea, right? So, and it's not in quotes, right? Because at that point, we're supposed to know what it means. So what's happening is in sentence 4, we are defining a new term. And so sentence 7 has to come after sentence 4 because it's using that new term as if we've already heard it before. If we move sentence 7 to the beginning, which is what all of the other choices want us to do, we're breaking the order of a definition and its usage. So this has nothing to do with the sound. This has nothing to do with the science here. It has nothing to do with Epidaurus. The only reason I'm putting sentence 7 where it is now is just the definition of a definition, right? We need to define a word before we can use it in a familiar way. There you go. And that happens frequently. I think this is a very special case of that where like I didn't know that was going to happen, and I kind of read a decent amount thinking that I was going to move this sentence at the beginning because it does seem kind of related, and I don't have the brain power to kind of understand the all these acoustical terms. Okay, so I kind of have to just like trust it for a little bit. But then once I hit sentence 4, I realized, oh, none of that matters. It's not about understanding the acoustics and the words. It's about this particular word and understanding how definitions work. And that saved me from what otherwise I think would have been a very hard question. And that's why we narrow our focus, so that we're more likely to understand these little things rather than this big picture stuff that's just very difficult to understand.